You should be seeing my screen up on your screen about now, is first of all, now I'm going to show you how to go through and how to develop your editorial calendar. But the second thing is I'm going to show you how to, through this process, how you're going to get your posts for at least the next 4 months. So that's kind of a bonus of being on the call. And if you got my email before the call that had the link, you also would have received a worksheet. And what I encourage you to do is to take that worksheet out, or print it out, or refer to it during this training, and then you can kind of go through and fill in the blanks, and also start jotting down some of the notes you may have, some idea starters that you may have as we go through the training. So I just wanted to make sure that you had that handy as well. So the old way of kind of doing your editorial calendar kind of looks like this. You open a blank screen, you write down every idea that you have, and then you keep going until you hit a number. Okay, and you schedule each post idea, and then usually if you're like I was a couple of years ago, you go through that big old long process, and then at the end of the process you realize that you really are not that excited about the ideas you have. Okay, and the problem with that process is that you have a bunch of blog posts that are really not coherent in any way. They're not supporting your business. It's hard to tell which topics are working, and those posts are not really working hard enough for you in terms of converting your customers to subscribers. And I've worked with a lot of people in terms of consulting with them on their editorial calendars, and I hear this again and again, is that, listen, I have a bunch of blog posts I'm not excited about and they're not helping me. And I really think that that's because that's the way the editorial calendars, or the experts, so to speak, have been talking about them. They've provided a way to just brainstorm a lot of ideas, but not really providing a framework for all of those blog post ideas to be working towards one goal. And that's what I'm going to show you tonight. And the one slide that I skipped over is that when I mean that I'm going to help you supercharge your editorial calendar, it means that I want you to be able to use your calendar as a roadmap to getting more fans, more subscribers, more sales. Whatever your goal is, your editorial calendar can be the roadmap for getting you there. So that is where we're at, and I'm going to show you my way of going about it, or what I call the new way of putting together an editorial calendar. So I'm checking really quickly with everyone to make sure that the sound is still there. And it looks like it's fine, so I'm going to keep going. I'm going to type in really quickly because I know we had that difficulty in the beginning. Okay, and I'm going to roll on. Okay, so the new way is, first of all, I'm going to show you how to have focused posting themes. So your blog posts will be focused around themes that will do the second part of this, which is build demand for your products and services. The third thing that the new way of doing this editorial calendar is going to do is that it's going to make it a lot easier for you to take a step back and see which topics are working well and which topics are not working as well. So let's kind of dive in and take a look at about how to go about doing that. So step number one here is, what I want you to do is create 4 topics, okay? And a topic is what your reader needs to know to understand the value of your service. So why don't you guys do this for me? As we go through this, if you could just really quickly tell me what your blog is about, because if you tell me what your blog is about, I can go through and kind of make some examples or come up with some examples that are relevant to your niche. I think it will help you get your head around this a little bit better. So go ahead and let me know what niche your blog serves, okay? So first of all, we're going to start with 4 topics, okay? So topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, and 4. And really what you're looking for in your topics is that you probably already blog about them, but you probably haven't thought of them as overall themes. Okay, so for example, if I were a dog trainer and I wanted to sell more of my dog training or obedience services, I probably would deal with the very first thing you want to do with your puppy in terms of training. I probably would have another theme about behaviors that you may want to train your dog out of. I might be talking about specialized training. For example, if you want to train your dog to hunt, or you want to train your dog to do something simple like fetching, so those are just your overall topics. Okay, and when a person sees those topics and they are excited about them and they want to get more information about it, as they read it, they understand the value of your service. Okay, so that's what I mean by topics. The next thing is that you want to add a specific, or you want to come up with a trigger problem for each one of your topics. Okay, and I define a trigger problem as the situation that motivates or prompts your reader to take action, for them to jump on Google and do a search. Okay, so going back to my dog training example, if it's about training out of a bad behavior, it could be that the trigger problem for a particular topic, that particular topic could be that they're chewing or they're jumping on guests. Whatever that most aggravating or annoying trigger problem is, I want you to list that underneath your topic. Okay, and the best way to do this, I found, is actually to open up just a spreadsheet, and these are your cells in your spreadsheet. So across the top, you're going to have your topics, and then underneath those topics, you're going to have your trigger problem. Okay, so that's step number 2. I'm just going to go ahead and check and make sure. Good. I just wanted to make sure everybody was still following me. So it looks like you guys are good to go. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull this over here so I can keep track of both. Good. The next piece is that I want you to ask some core questions. Okay, some core questions, and these core questions are going to be based upon your reader's evaluation process, or how they learn. Now let me give you a little bit of background about this. First of all, when I was doing research on how people kind of digest information, because I was really trying to figure out what is the best way to deliver information, okay? And I came across something called the format system, okay? And the format system was created by an educator who realize that people think about they go about learning in 4 different ways. Okay, and the way that they learn is that if they have a particular question and their mind is satisfied, then they're much more likely to want to learn that particular subject. And it really broke down into these 4 areas: why, what, how, and what if. All right, so these questions are for the people who cared about the why core question. They wanted to know, why should I care about this? Okay, that was their core question. That's how they started it off. All right, and if the teacher or the parent or the coach answered why, then they were good to go. All right. The second one was what, and this is for those intellectuals out there. This was what is the rational foundation for this particular topic? What are the principles? What is the evidence? What are the success stories? That is what they wanted to know. The third thing was how, and you probably are familiar with the how people, because other people usually talk about them as the folks who like this hands-on point of view, or they're kinesthetic. They like to get it in their hands and kind of work with it themselves. But those people are a part of this how group, but it is also for people who learn better by recreating the results for themselves. All right, so that is what the how people, how they learned. They immediately took the subject and they tried to figure it out and make it applicable to them. And then the fourth group of people here were your what if people. All right, and these folks had a very unique way of looking at their subject. They would hear something and they would try to figure out ways it was applicable to other situations, and if it was applicable to other situations, then it held value for them. So this is, for example, someone who would look at a tutorial on how to teach their child how to balance on a bike, how to ride a bike without training wheels, and they would immediately in their mind, just because how they're wired, they would think and believe that, hey, listen, I could probably take this whole balancing thing and apply it to my daughter in gymnastics. So these are your what if people. All right. And by understanding those 4 areas, you're able to kind of create blog posts that target each one of them. All right, and those are the core questions that I'm talking about. So what I'm going to ask you to do is that in your editorial calendar, go ahead and put these core questions in your left-hand rows there. So you have your why. So why should I care about this? What is the rational foundation for this particular subject? How do I recreate results for myself? And what if? Is this applicable to other situations? All right, so those are your 4 questions. Let me pause here because I'm kind of racing through this and I just want to make sure everybody gets it. So let me recap. The first thing you're going to do is come up with your 4 topics, and those are across the top. Okay, the next thing you want to do is come up with a trigger problem. You kind of want to have that in front of you to reference because it keeps you focused on what is the reader's problem. What are some of the questions that are going to be going through their head? Why are they there? What's motivating them to be there? Okay, at your blog. Why did they visit? Why did they start searching? And then we're going to ask these core questions, which is this why, what, how, and what if. All right, so you can start to see how this is kind of shaping up here. All right, so this is the foundation or the framework for building out the editorial calendar. And what you'll see here is that there's no dates yet. Okay, we're not randomly brainstorming. We're actually starting with the customer or the reader in this case. We're starting with what they want to do. And then when we understand that, why and what's motivating them, then we can start to create those blog posts that create and stimulate demand, and it positions you as an expert and keeps your readers coming back because they know that you are satisfying their itch, so to speak. All right, so I'm going to pause right there. If you're getting me so far, if everything is still coming through okay for you, just go ahead and give me an amen in your chat window, and then once I get that, then I'm going to continue to move forward. All right, I just don't want to lose anybody here. And it looks like everybody got on okay, so I'm glad to hear that. And also, if you have any questions, before I move on to step number 4 here, if you have any questions, go ahead and throw that in your chat window. Be happy to, I'm going to be getting all those questions. I'm going to be happy to go through it and answer any questions you might have. All right, good. So I'm going to move on to step 4. So right now, I want you to go ahead and take a look at your key topic, and then you want to start asking this question. So why should I care about this particular topic? And that's going to be post number 1. So let me go here and take a look at one of your, let me see, I saw Amen Go Big Ten. You guys saw my Buckeye sweatshirt. That's right, because Buckeyes play tonight. So true Buckeye fan. So let me get somebody here, having a client who blogs about patient care. How about this? Job seekers and how to make job seekers thrive. So let's say one topic for a job seeker would be, your core topic for a job seeker would be how to find open positions. Where do you go to find open positions? All right, so that's topic number 1. The trigger problem there is that the job seeker is going to monster.com and they're just coming up with a bunch of job openings that are not pertinent to them, doesn't use their skills, and they're getting frustrated. So they went in there and typed in how to find the best jobs. Okay, so if you were to take a look at it from topic number 1, we would start with why. Why should I care about this? So you can say to that person as the first thing, first post is, why is it important to use multiple search engines for your job? So from there, for your job search, and from there in that post, you can go into how you can find a greater degree of, or a greater diversity of job openings, and so on. Okay, what is the rational foundation for this? In this, if you're talking about job seekers, you may want to give them some principles that you use in terms of when you coach a new job seeker. So you could say you use certain certain search engines or job search directories based upon your core skill set. So if you are a techie, you might use Dice. If you are a professional six-figure executive, you might use something like Ladders or something along those lines. So that is kind of your principles, your methodology in terms of delivering your service or delivering or answering this problem for them. The next thing is how. So you can probably take them through. This post can be a step-by-step process for using a particular search engine to finding a wide range of jobs for that person. And then the what if, how can you make this job search situation in terms of finding the right job, how is that applicable to other situations? I usually cheat when it comes to what if, because sometimes that doesn't apply to every circumstance. Sometimes you can apply one subject to another. So in this case, what I would do is I use the what if category to talk about tools or resources, okay? Because that also appeals to a person who thinks along this what if way or what if manner. Okay, so that is how I would kind of break it down, and you would do that exact same process for topic number 1, topic number 2, 3, and 4. All right, so you will go through that exact same process. So one thing I want to make sure you guys understand is that don't get stuck on coming up with a perfect title. All right, for each one of these areas for your post number 1 through 16. Really what you want to do is jot down very quickly your initial idea, okay, and then move on. Some of them you probably won't get all 4 done, but you just want to kind of quickly go through. And then after you go through one pass, go back and go through it again. All right, so you can kind of see if you're getting new ideas after going through this process. So after doing this, if you've done it the exact way that I've showed you how to do it, you would start with topic number 1 through 4, and then you'll see that at the end of this, ideally, you will have 16 blog posts ready to go. If you followed Pushing Social for any amount of time, you know that I believe that you should be posting at least once a week. So let's say you just did the minimum there and you just have 1 post a week, then you have a post for 16 weeks, which I think is a good thing. That will get you taken care of for, 4 months there. So that is how to kind of quickly pull together those posts. Now I'm going to take you up another level on this, okay? So how can we make sure that these posts align with your offer or what you're selling or what your main objective is? So what I'm going to suggest you do is, for step number 5, add a line to the bottom of this table. All right, and at the bottom of this table will be your offer. So for example, if your core topic for our job seekers was how to find resources to deliver or show you the best jobs, a wide diversity of jobs underneath your skills, you might have a special report that focuses on how to find the best openings. Okay, or if your second topic is how to write a killer resume, a resume that really shows off your talents and your career highlights, that can be a special report on resumes. Third thing could be interviewing skills. Fourth topic could be negotiating, all right? But each one of those topics has a topic offer. So ideally, what you would do is that not only would you have 4 posts under a particular topic, you would also have an opt-in opportunity or even a product opportunity that is relevant for that specific topic. Now, I want you to take a step back here and see what we've done. Remember, first of all, we haven't put any dates down yet, right? But what we've done is we've actually created the content that really starts to support our marketing, supports our sales. Okay, do you see that? If you can see that, just put an amen right now because I'm really excited about this process because I've been using it for 2 years and it's taken Push and Social from being $0 to being over a 6-figure business this year in just a year. And how we've done it is using this exact process I'm showing you right now. So right now, you should have an idea of not only how do you generate demand by creating these posts, okay, but also how you can start to get the person to raise their hands and say, I would like to get more information. Because if a person opts in for your offer here, if it's a special report or a recording or a hangout like we're doing tonight, then you have them in a situation where you could continue to provide them with follow-up specifically based upon this topic. What I oftentimes see people doing is that they have one offer and then they're scattershot in all their posts and they're wondering why isn't anyone signing up? Why isn't anyone buying? It's because they're confused. They don't understand. Your readers doesn't understand how you can help in a particular area. This particular calendar eliminates all of that. Okay, it eliminates all that and it starts to confine or starts to focus your blog post on narrow topics that are focused on a particular problem and hits your reader base and the 4 areas in which they would like to learn. All right, so let me take one more aside here because I think one question that you could have is, well, Stan, if I write a why post, will it turn off a what if person? Okay, and my answer to that is that, first of all, when you write a blog post, if you want to be very smart and savvy about it, is that you would write your blog post to, number one, start off with why the person should care about the topic. Second thing is, or that second and third paragraph talks about the rational foundation, the success stories, the metrics, the principles behind it. Third thing is, how do I recreate results for myself? That's the application portion of your post. And then the what if is, if you have different ways that your principle can apply, okay, to other situations, do it, or you can end with suggestions of a few tools. So you almost can bake these 4 learning styles into one post. All right. But another thing is that even if a person primarily learns by the understanding what, they will be still receptive to the how and the what if and the why portion there. So don't get too caught up in that. But what you want to do is use it as an idea starter to keep you focused when you're going through and brainstorming your posts. All right. So let's keep going because I want to get to Q&A because I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions about this. So the last thing you do is schedule your posts. All right, and the reason why I like to wait to the very end is because I really don't believe that scheduling of your posts should take as much time and effort that I see people putting into it. Okay, there is a couple of things I would suggest here. First of all, I recommend sequential scheduling, meaning that I don't think you should bounce around. I don't think you should do post number 1 and then move to post number 16 and then up to post number 5. Okay. What I would rather you do is either focus on one topic, all right, and have all of your posts around one topic. So you would go through topic number 1, so I have it here for you. So 1/6, a week later, 1/13, 1/20, 1/27, you're dealing with each one of these areas in a sequential fashion. Okay, or you can go the other route, which is you can go across a core question. So you answer the why question for topic 1, topic 2, topic 3, and topic 4. So that way, a lot of your readers, what they'll do is, excuse me, what they will do is that they will visit your blog and they will see your topic and they'll like what they'll see and they'll come back the next week. So by doing it in either one of these ways, is that what they will do is they will see the topic that they're interested in either be handled in a sequential fashion all by one topic, or they will see the topic being handled in the learning style that they are familiar with. So that's kind of a way to hedge your bets. So what I prefer to do is going down each topic. So I can focus on one topic on 1 month, and then I'm able to see exactly how people are responding. Okay, are they giving me good feedback? Are they sharing the post? Are they subscribing to my offer? Okay, and I'm able to see that almost in a laboratory setting because I'm focused on one problem. So I prefer to go down one topic at a time. Okay, so that is how I go through and create an editorial calendar.